It's spinning. Now we are live. So
The YouTube site is
we
still
are.
running. Okay,
There's
good.
probably going to be a delay of about
Okay.
10 seconds or so. Is it going?
Yep, yep. I think it's loading.
I
Yep.
suppose I could open the YouTube. Oh, actually, I already got a tab open for that. Yes, it is going. I better mute that though. Yeah, I can hear myself. I don't want to hear myself. Okay, it's going. I can see it. I don't want to see myself, but all right.
You'll get used to it.
So, okay, StreamYard is kind of interesting. Our perspective, our cameras are sort of cut down to a little. Hey, let me see. My hands don't fit in there. See how we're cut down? Now I'm running the interface right now, and I could make any of us, like, let's see what happens when I do that. That's interesting. You like that one better? Okay. And then I could make any of us solo layout,
Yeah.
you know, and
So-
then exit solo layout, you know. StreamYard is really fantastic, but the one thing that it didn't have that I really wanted was the ability for people to actually participate, not just watch. So now it looks like we have 4 folks watching. I'm looking at the YouTube feed. Oh, I should also, and I think that if people comment in the Facebook group, which right now is private, so it's only those people, but if people comment in the Facebook group, it actually shows in, let's
the
see.
live comments.
Right, it shows in the sidebar here on StreamYard.
Yes.
Now I'm going to pop this thing up. Let's see. And a person's comment would show up like that. So that's interesting. That's actually a really cool feature. It's something that I will often see on like Twitch streams and people who, they'll pop up the messages when somebody donates money or something to their Twitch stream. So StreamYard has a really cool interface.
I'll be right back. Continue.
Okay.
Continue.
I think the members can put comments on respective Facebook groups, and then I could just transfer it later on. It's okay because some might not sign in to the YouTube channel to able to comment. So yeah, we can do that.
Oh, can you? I guess you can view the video. I'm going to try to open this in an incognito tab now. I guess you can view the video even not signed in. So I'm not signed in.
Yep, you can view.
And I guess I won't be able to comment. Oh, geez, I can hear myself again. All right. Oh, sign into chat. Okay, so that's what you mean. Yeah, I understand. Okay. Now, before this meeting, Faizer's back. I'll add her back to the thing. Hey, I didn't pick that layout. There we go. Before this meeting, I watched, because the timing was just right, I watched how they did the stream for Indore, Indore. I think that's in India, just to see how they were doing it. And it went pretty well, but it was very tech focused. I mean, he was actually showing code. And they're using StreamYard as well. And they did pop up a comment at the bottom during the stream. So actually that went really well. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you. Do you see our little watermark in the corner?
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Okay. That was one of many that I tried. I bet I can change these live. Oh,
you cannot. Can you?
I'm not sure. Let's try. That was the one I liked the best of all the ones that I tried. But let's see what happens. I mean, it's right here in, what do they call this? The broadcast studio. So now I show this. Yes, you can. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
Go back to the first one. Okay, so maybe we need to work on those logos a little bit, but I don't know. That's just something I picked. So StreamYard has some really cool features, but the features of the conferencing software are not why people are going to come. I think we have a pretty good, for our first meeting, I think we have a pretty good idea of what we're going to talk about. But we need a lot of feedback from the audience to go from there. Otherwise, well, I mean, Pfizer and I can both come up with plenty of topics, but I'm not sure about how wide the appeal would be because we're both programmers. And I think we need to go into tech beyond just programming. Gui, how long have you been? How has your group been active?
So we started last year. I think it's August. We hosted a few events with International Women's Day, Hacktoberfest, React meetups. We also have one SEO and marketing events, but that is definitely out of the DevC side. So we'll.
Oh, Gui froze again.
Hello.
I don't think SEO and marketing are really outside of, because SEO is definitely a tech
Yep.
topic, and
Correct.
marketing, there is a tech aspect to it. I mean, we're not talking about, buying ads on radio stations. We're talking about marketing for like websites and other tech related things. So those are definitely in the
yeah, true. That one we need some guidance on in terms of what topic that we can cover. Because I hosted one before. There is a very niche topic that we can discuss in terms of SEO and marketing. So we need to get some guidelines on how to organize it if we want to. So far, developer circle is mainly for focusing on developers, getting the tech communities up and running in local.
Yeah. It does say that on the Developer Circle's website that it's for developers, but I think that there is enough, what's the word? There's enough leeway to expand it a little bit to include, because what I'd really like to do is inspire business owners to use technology to improve their businesses, make their businesses more efficient, and really to hire more developers. Because if they get into tech, I mean, because that's a lot. There's a lot of businesses. I'm sure it's the same in Penang, but there's a lot of businesses in KK for sure that they're doing absolutely nothing with tech, and I'd like to inspire them to, so that's if we could find topics that would inspire those kind of people to get into technology with their businesses, then that's what I'd like to do. And of course, a lot of people are interested in making money, both people who want to do work and people who are already running a business and want to use technology to, I mean, I think in terms of websites, every business should have a website, but I'm working hard to try to think of that, think of a bigger picture than that, not just websites, but how they can use technology for their companies.
Correct.
So,
okay.
well, the thing I just posted in the chat about private groups versus public groups. Oh, something beeped. I think I should ignore that right now. The thing I just posted in the chat about private versus public groups. Why do we? Let's see. If we're having a private conversation in a group, like it could be a family group, that's what kind of group would be private. But other than that, it should be public, shouldn't it? I think Gui's having some internet problems.
Hello. Yeah.
I hear you. You froze again for a moment.
So for developer circles Facebook group, it was started as private because it will be up to the leads to decide whether it will keep private or public. For most of the circles, it will eventually change to public because we want to share information, but some will decide to keep private because they want to share some private links or offers or some incentive that members only. So you want to be able to differentiate people coming from the public to get those freebies or incentive. So how do you go around that in terms of public?
Okay. I only hesitated because I thought I was missing something. I thought maybe there was something about having a public group that made it hard to moderate or something like that. But what do you think, Faizra?
I actually have no issues actually. Whether we want to make it public or private, yeah, either way it's good. It's good with me. Yeah.
Okay, I think we should make it public because I just worried that I was missing something. Because people have private, like I'm in a lot of groups on Facebook. I don't follow their messages, but I'm in a lot of Facebook groups, and a lot of them are private, and I can't figure out why. So I thought I was missing something. So I'll make the group public, then everyone can see everything.
Correct. And you want to moderate the posts, so whoever posts on the group need to go through approval, and also the membership. You need to set some rules, ground rules, so that you won't have weird posts or members getting into the group.
Well, I was looking at the settings just a little while ago. I guess I don't have that tab open anymore. And there was an option that said only members can post, and there was an option that said all group posts must go through moderation. Now, I think that might be a little extreme unless we have a relatively low number of members, because I think what I'd like to do is leave it so that any members can post, not the general public, but any members can post. If we start to have problems, then maybe we change that.
Yeah, it depends on the leads. For me, I wanted to have more control, because if anyone screenshots and then it ties to Facebook developer circles, means they screenshot and then some content's there. It's maybe up for 1 or 2 seconds, but it's tied to a Facebook developer circles.
Oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's why I'm more.
Sometimes Facebook can get really bad. Any social network is like that, though. All right, we'll have to talk about that, because I don't know. I kind of want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but obviously some really objectionable content appears on Facebook sometimes.
I think we can start by introducing ourselves. So I'm Gui. I'm from DevC Penang. Let's hear from.
Hi.
Sure.
Yeah.
My name is Faizra. I'm from DevC Kota Kinabalu.
And my name is Vince. I'm from DevC Kota Kinabalu.
Cool. So, good stuff.
That's we had a few other people in our chat. I thought a lot of people were interested in joining, but I guess not. Actually, I thought Trimika was going to join us too. But
Trimika, maybe the times have clashing with some other meetings, something like that. Yeah.
Anyway, what do we have for tonight?
We didn't talk about topics. We just said let's meet, right? So
is there a launch date for KK?
Right. So for KK, we're gonna launch next week on the 28th of April. I think is it Tuesday, Vince? It's Tuesday, right?
Yeah, and we're aiming for the third Tuesday of every month. Sorry.
Right. So 28th of April, at around 7 p.m. So right now we've just decided that we're gonna make our Facebook group public, so anyone can join. The link for the event is already in the group. Yeah. So we're gonna have also 2 representatives from Facebook, and then Vivi from Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub. She'll give a talk about the tech scene in Sabah, and I think that's it, right, Vince? I don't remember actually.
That's it. That's it for this meeting. Now I have already sent some messages to some people that I think would be interesting speakers, but no confirmations yet. There are some business owners running tech-based businesses here in KK. I mean, you're going to know them all. Like Masri was one. Lim is another one that I haven't sent a message to Lim yet about it, but I think that maybe either Lim would be willing to come speak, or he might send somebody to represent Mind Valley. I'm talking about Lim Xiong, who is the CTO for Mind Valley, which is a KL-based company, but they have a KK branch. And he's also a longtime friend of mine, and he ran an active group here called Webcamp KK for many years. But that's another story. We also should probably have somebody from Kinabalu Coders in the future. That would Edham would probably be perfect for that, or often that's Arthur. So we definitely have a selection of speakers that could come and speak if they agree to it, you know. But more importantly, I think we want to know whoever might watch and what they want to see. I mean, if they want to see tutorials on how to do certain things with code, we can do that. So it's just a matter of what would appeal the most to the audience. It's a little different because it's most of the, I mean, while we're under the MCO, people are just going to be watching.
Right.
But hopefully we'll have some in-person participation after all of that's over.
Yep.
I'm just interested to know the launch for Penang. I think that was last year, right? So if you can share a bit about your launch event, maybe you can.
So for the Penang launch, we invite all the locals to join our launch day, and then from the content during the launch event, I try to get some open source projects that's created by Facebook, and then introduce those projects to them, and also getting some feedback from the audience. We found that there's a mix of developers and business people during the launch day. And I also printed t-shirts for the people that attend launch day. I think there will be some changes in the branding soon, so don't print the t-shirt yet. And the launch day basically wanted to get the locals to notice.
You froze again.
Hello?
We had a little bit of a pause again.
Hello? Yeah.
I can hear you now.
Okay. So for Penang, basically that because that's the first circle in Malaysia, we try to get things it's basically try and error. And then we have the KL launch in the Facebook Malaysia office. That one is interesting. Then everyone gets to visit the Facebook Malaysia office. Everyone need to register to get in, which is different from the Penang launch. So people get to visit the Facebook office. The Facebook office employee will be there. Representative Eric is there to talk about Facebook Malaysia. And and also we have 2 developers in KL, which are basically
it seems like
it comes in and out.
Okay. So 2 developers in KL, they learn coding by themselves, and then both of them able to share how to start the coding journey without going through university or college. Both of them are great. I would say it's very good programmers. One is the person who created the what's it called? what is that called already? Basically, language, machine learning for language for Malay. So means they're able to understand the Malay sentences.
Ooh.
So you build the machine learning library for it in Python.
Oh,
So
that's fantastic.
another one is in secondary school. So that's also very impressive.
Secondary school. Oh, that's very impressive then. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, NLP, correct. Wilson, yeah, correct.
Yes. Wilson Chu, is his name backwards, or is it
Wilson, yeah, correct.
okay?
So he's also one of the volunteers in DevC Penang, teaching
Hmm.
deep learning for our DevC training. So for Facebook developer circles, there's training courses running twice per year. So every starting from January and also June, they will have another intake where Facebook offer three tracks: web development, data science, and deep learning. So Facebook pay a scholarship for members to join online platform to learn, and then we need to find a facilitator and volunteers to help us to guide.
Um, I like the education focus. I really do, and I hope that's very interesting. Now, my perspective on that is based on I have a lot of nieces and nephews, or at least seems like a lot to me. Um, and two of them are past SPM and they've already finished and they're already like figuring out what they want to do. And some of them are just getting close to that point. And I want to also inspire young people, people who are just starting out their career, to at least consider a technology-based career. Right now, I can kind of understand why they don't necessarily, um, because they don't see jobs for it. And if you ask a young person, well, what are you going to do after SPM? And very often I hear engineer, and that's not specific enough. And that's not, I think when they answer like that, they don't really quite know what they want to do. They just know engineer is a prestigious title. And I would like very much, I think this is a big difference from like my upbringing and upbringing of Malaysian youngsters, is that people in the States will constantly ask you, what do you want to be when you grow up? And here, I think very often people just don't even think about it until they're about to take their SPM. And then it's like, well, what am I going to do after that? So I would like to inspire young people, and not just people, not just 17-year-olds, but maybe as young as like 10-year-olds. But there's these two things have to happen at the same time. The two things are inspire business owners to expand their business to include technical resources so that they create the jobs that the kids that we inspire to go into a tech career uh, can fill those jobs. And I think we have a sort of a deficiency in both of those things here.
Yep, agreed. Um, for Penang, we have a lot of NMC, so means overseas companies are based in Penang right now, and they are hiring. They are looking for a lot of talents that cannot be fulfilled. So there's a lot of initiatives in Penang, like Forward School, trying to bridge that gap.
Okay,
So
so you have your environment there for the workforce is a little different. Um, we have here in KK, we've gone over this a million times with different groups. So Faezra has heard me say this before, but we have sort of a brain drain. Everybody who gains sufficient skill in any IT field, in any IT focus, goes somewhere else. And actually, Faezra is an example of that because she gained her skill and then went to work in KL for many years. And then she came back. So either go and work somewhere else, sometimes KL, sometimes another country, or start a business. And now Faezra has done both.
That's true. I mean, I've known Gui a few years back, right? So I've known Gui since I think 2016, right? And we volunteered in Rails Girls together. So yeah, and then and Gui also is an example. He worked in KL for several years, and then I think we both went back to our hometown around the same time, right, Gui?
Yes, correct.
So I
Yeah.
have noticed that a lot of Sabahans have very strong patriotism, sort of.
Mm.
They, I think that if we have the opportunity here, and say they're in KL, for example, they'll come back. They want to come back. But we need that opportunity. And so I'm hoping that through not only Facebook Dev Circles, but definitely Facebook Dev Circle KK, I'm hoping that we can inspire business owners to create that opportunity, stop the brain drain, so to speak, and that's for the business side, the people who are already well into their careers. That's one part of it, and the other part of it is inspiring the youngsters to get into the career field. So
Correct.
that's really the whole thing. And then once we have a large active community, now Faezra can probably attest to this too. We're a relatively small community here in KK, and to a certain extent, it feels like we already know everyone in the tech community. And so those people are very enthusiastic, and they're active, and they're doing things, and but we're not growing as much as I'd like. I'd like to meet some 17-year-olds that are saying, I want to get into this. What do I do? And I want to guide them through that if I can. And not just me personally, but I want that to be able to connect them with mentors or teachers from the community. I want to send them to Rambutan Code Academy, which Faezra runs. And I also want to send them, if they don't have any money to spend, I also want to send them to resources like Free Code Camp, or I don't know, Coursera, or edX, is it? EDX? There's lots of resources for learning on your own. And I really liked that you had a couple of developers give talks about becoming a developer on your own, because that's me for one thing. And I think people are sort of intimidated by that. I think people think that it's sort of some people think you got to be a genius to work with computers, and that's not true, but people think that. And I want to stop that. Uh-oh, we lost somebody. Oh, we got you back. I want to stop that that illusion of only people with a certain level of skill or certain natural talent. I don't want people to think you have to have a natural talent to work with computers. I want people to consider it as a real something that anyone can get into if they want to.
Yep, that's true. Basically, building support in terms of local communities. I think when I'm in KL, I'm able to get into those communities, local communities in KL, where they are very welcoming. They give a lot of supports in terms of working in the different locations, and also going around in KL. That's one of Sabah or Penang or Johor. So we want to get those support, the passion back to our individual cities, and trying to get the same people together so that we can support more young talents.
Yeah. So I think we have the same focus. Now, Penang has some different types of opportunities available, which is pretty cool. I guess I kind of knew that there was a lot of foreign companies in the tech sector working out of Penang. We don't have that here in KK. So we really want to work with local business owners, whoever might be open to that idea. And really, I hope everyone would be open to that idea. Every business owners, I said it just in a chat recently, every business owner should at least have a website. Make myself more sense.
PyCon Malaysia is hosted in KK. But it's affected by MCO. So I think there is some companies there in KK that are very good in Python. Probably leverage the connection and their developers to help to inspire more people to get into this industry, because they have some ways to get certain business. Maybe they need extra help on other components to make the whole piece complete. Yeah, something like that. Each company focus on small pieces.
I should be in a good position actually to get that information. I mentioned already that I work with Kinabalu Coders. I'm actually AJK with the organization, and they are helping to organize PyCon here. Although, yeah, we don't know the exact status of PyCon. It's not until September though, right? So it might still happen.
Yeah, they will move to online. From what I heard from organizers, so they will move to online to be safe.
So I think we don't really have any other.
Probably can share like what I did starting from last year until now. So for developer circles, each year we'll have a developer circle challenge. So it's a hackathon from Facebook. So it allows members to join, participate, and it's involving all the members throughout the world. And the team that won were able to get cash prizes. I think can refer back to last year hackathon. We have HTML5 games, AR, and one more, I think, not.
We lost you again.
Hello? Yeah, the internet here is not that good because it's raining right now. Yeah, but it's okay. So there's a hackathon going on each year. So do prepare for that. Last year we kind of late because it's August when we launched DevC Penang. So this year we'll try to prepare for it for the hackathon. And then for developer circle training, it will happen in January and June. So each member need to apply for it. So it's not automatically you will get a place in the online learning platform. Each member need to apply for it. So you need to encourage your members to apply, teach them how to apply, and then start finding a facilitator to guide them through the courses. The courses, I think it's deep learning.
There we go.
Hello?
Hello? We hear you. It cuts out, but only for a brief amount of time. So just keep talking and we'll hear you again.
Okay. So you need to get the correct people to guide through the members. I think for the first half of 2020, we have 2 persons managed to go to track 2. So one is deep learning and one is data science. We managed to get 2 members getting the scholarship. So the whole world, I think it's only 90 scholarship available for all. So they look for involvement in the groups and also the progress they made in their process. So yeah, these 2 are the main stuff going on in Dev Circle. I think we need to like plan for it, put some resource.
I think that those events are, oh, wait, let's make us all visible again. How do I do that? I think that those events are really excellent, and I hadn't thought about that. So that is really, we can have hackathons. Now, one thing I want to make sure, though, is that we have enough of a community to support it. I know that sometime within the past year, there was, we also have a Game Dev KK group. And they're the people that are in it and they're active, they're very enthusiastic, but it's also very small. And I think the last time they did a game dev hackathon, which was sort of an all-night session, I think it was only 2 guys. And that's not as inspiring to have a hackathon where it's only 2 guys that are interested in participating. So I need to really, I think before we do something like that, we really have to gauge the interest of the community in something like that.
But just want to clarify, is the hackathon within our dev circle, or it's like combined with the all dev circles in Malaysia or APAC?
It's the whole world. So Asia, US, Europe, everyone. We have one winner in Asia, and then it will go to the worldwide group. So each region will have a few winners.
So that means we can probably try to encourage the members to apply for the hackathon. And yeah, right.
So this is an event that isn't created by DevCircle Penang. This is a Facebook event.
Correct. It's a Facebook event.
Oh, okay. So the Game Dev KK one that I talked about that had low participation, I'm pretty sure it was just a KK one.
The KK one, yeah. So I think if we can, yeah. So if we can convince the members that, hey, okay, so this is like a global event, right? And then if you participate, and then you'll have the chance to actually, if you win, and then you'll have the chance to compete in a, in the global level. Yeah, that would be great. That would be, yeah.
Yep. And probably work with local university. It's hard to reach out to them, but try to get students rep or lecturers to help you to, yeah.
This is interesting. My wife works for the local university, but not in a tech field. And I think she's kind of not my best contact for the local university. But I think I even put it in our proposal for a future event. Because if you remember, Mika posted something about, tell us your plans for the next 3 events. It was a form to fill out. I put in there a slot for a local educator, meaning somebody from a local university. And I really want to, because for some reason, I can't figure out why, I haven't spoken to anybody. I know there's formal education in something tech related at UMS, University Malaysia Sabah, but I haven't met them. I don't know them. So I want to have greater involvement from them too, from formal educators, from formal is not a good word, because I also consider something like Rambutan Code formal. I want to represent traditional education like boot camps, maybe not all at the same event, or maybe all at the same event, but I'm not sure. But I want to make people aware of the options open to them for getting into this field. And of course, I'm all about being self-taught, because that was my background.
Yep. I actually have plans to work with the university here during they are interested in hosting boot camps and hackathons in their universities. So because they want to get the students interested in tech.
Absolutely, yeah.
A lot of them went into computer science is just because they can't get their first option in university. So they don't really know what to do after they graduate. Like some of them don't know how to use a terminal. So they basically wanted to just do a normal office work. They don't really think much, while the lecturer want them to think further. Like it's not about what you learn in the courses, you need to know how to apply it at the current world.
When we talk about education for IT, that is a big thing to emphasize, is that this is not something you learn in school and then you just do what you learned in school for the next 30 years or however long until you retire. It's something that you continuously learn. And that's, to me, that's what I like about it. It keeps it interesting. So definitely when we talk about education, that's going to be a big point, is that the thing that makes it so cool for somebody who likes this is that you don't ever get bored with it because you're always learning something new, and it's necessary to always learn something new.
Yep. So it's very important to incite that passion, that interest, because they don't have that interest for them to just do extra stuff. Because for them it's like, okay, it's just homework, it's just assignment, yada yada, it's just textbook stuff. We need to show them that's more exciting stuff beyond that. Get them excited to go and learn by themselves. We don't want to feed them. We want to make them excited about the industry, and they're willing to interest.
Yeah. So okay, we have one in KK. We have one more issue to attend to than you have in Penang, because it sounds like you have lots of jobs that you need to fill with the foreign companies that are coming in and can't fill all their positions. In KK, we have a shortage of jobs. I have looked for jobs here. Now I'm doing okay now. I'm working for a foreign company because there's too few jobs here. But when I was looking really hard for jobs here, all I found were PHP jobs paying very poorly, and it wasn't even new development. It was just maintaining a company website. Not the most interesting way to work in IT. But so one thing for people, for right now, the best opportunity in IT may be freelancing or the gig economy, whatever you want to call it, or Upwork. But that would be like the right now. If you want to get into IT and you want to start earning gaji, you look at international opportunities, and there are lots and lots and lots of international opportunities for the people with the right skill set. And then for the future, we hope that we can get more businesses interested in leveraging technology, so that they need IT staff, and we want them to see that it will help them to make what they do now more efficient, and also allow them to make more money in the future with their business.
Yep. I know a few teams here in Penang where when they started, the company staff in Penang is just only one. It's basically one developers. But now they have an office here in Penang. Into Penang and work with it. When the HQ thinks that it's feasible to set up an office in that particular area, and then that developers will start hiring. So eventually there will be a team locally, and then that will roll into more and more opportunities where people will start moving in, because they see, okay, the talents here are good, there are jobs here. So it's like you need to have some developers start taking in foreign jobs and start working in that particular area. And then when the HQ thinks it's good, the quality work is good, the pay is good, yeah, then able to start one office. We have Act Life here, Australian-based company. It started with one staff, now it's a team here hiring. We have, I think, Strip Hop, also started with a small team. They raise fund and they so it's also I think it's very dependent on like what developers able to bring in to local community. I think in Sabah and Sarawak, I heard that there is Automatic WordPress, the company behind WordPress. There is people working in that in Sabah and Sarawak, and they are looking to hire people.
Now I have to look into that because I did not know that.
Yeah, me too.
Other than what they call happiness engineers, I think that they do. They hire remote happiness engineers, and if you didn't know, the happiness engineer is just a customer support representative.
Okay.
I actually was a speaker at WordCamp KK last year.
Okay. Yeah, I need to check on that. I remember it's a developer. They're hiring for remote developers. So there's a lot of remote work, including Firefox.
That is great. I should find specifics so that I can share that with people, just to show the opportunities that are available for remote work.
I think I've shared with Vivian from the Sabah Hub. The name is too long, so I'm gonna call it Sabah Hub. But so it's basically Sabah Creative Economy and Innovation Hub. So we don't have like a very good what do you call it, acronym for that one. But yeah, so I think what we can do, Developer Circle can actually help with training, but at the same time we need another support to actually so that we can push our not only startups born in Sabah, but we need to make sure that there is like another body or something like that that can help us bring in all the foreign companies, and then like how we shared with in Penang that outside companies come to Sabah and then open their offices here, to create the job opportunities here in Sabah. I think otherwise, even though we can train local talents here, but then there is another concern that, okay, if we don't have enough jobs for them, then eventually they'll go to KL, and it's going back to the circle again. And yeah,
yes, that's what happens, and that's why not as many people choose IT as a career field. So there's two things to improve: bring in more foreign businesses, and also because I really think that I just like with tourism, I think that depending on foreign involvement, it doesn't seem as reliable or as comfortable. If we can get Malaysian business owners to they should all have a website at least.
Yeah.
And then if they have any kind of data that they need to manage, it shouldn't be on paper. It should be in a database that can, be maintained. They could make their entire workflow more, that's something that, that's not even a topic for an event. That's a sales pitch if I'm going to try to do a gig for one of these business owners. But if we can just inspire them. So let's see. To bring in foreigners here, to a certain extent, it might be like above our level. It might be the government has to give tax breaks or something like that. But if we can get the area known as a place where high quality technical work is done, high quality software development. We're all talking about software development. I'm the one that keeps making it. But if we can, the stereotype is that companies outsource to India, right? Development shops in India, and they complain about it, but there are a lot of active development shops in India. So we'd like a little bit of that action, right? We'd like them to recognize Malaysia as a center for where development can be done, and you can expect reasonable amount of quality.
Yeah, it's true. Probably need to find a unique, what we want to specialize in. Like Penang is a silicon. Basically, anything talk about EE, silicon stuff, you see most of the silicon factory is in Penang. So if you want to find some silicon engineers, chip E&E engineers is easily find here. So that's the attraction there. Learning, because factories are using machine learning right now. So they are looking for talents in machine learning. That's why they're putting money into training people to know how to do machine learning. We have a few machine learning companies here in Penang. Some are startups, some are foreign companies, entity. So it's just how to get the correct people, I guess, to be here. In Sabah, just probably start with some I think what is that? Software consultant. Some software consultant can get businesses like the offline businesses to online. They will need to hire some tech team eventually if they start to expand. I work with a few freelance projects. They have a lot of hello. They have a lot of capital to invest in to go into tech. So they want to build app. They want to go on online presence. So those people, as a developer, we normally won't able to get in touch with them. We need to go through like business or marketer, the marketing people, because those are the people that normally will able to tap into those industry. And then they know that business owner want to give up something, and then we can get that job in and build the tech stack for them. So it's also building relationship with the marketers, the business side, so that when the business owner requires something tech, we can immediately fill that gap.
Yeah, you have a better situation there in Penang, I think, because you have the job opportunities you need to end, and that provides a lot of motivation. And then maybe you have a lot of people who don't know how to get into tech, and you just cater to those people. Here we've got both a problem with job opportunities and a problem with people that don't know how to go and get into tech. So we've got to figure out an approach, a strategy.
Yep. For business projects, I think I got one from, I think, Sabah. I have one project from Sabah actually. They have a bit of budget for us to develop the platform. So normally, if you want to get into those businesses, you need to have some contact. So it's back to the business person or the authority or something, some guy that worked in corporates before. They have some connections, because business owners, they don't know how to find developers. They don't go.
That is actually that's actually true.
Yeah, they search their contacts and then try to find tech teams through their contacts, which normally are business marketers, business professionals that directly will increase their sales. So getting to know marketers and business personnel enable us more opportunity to know that, okay, from business owner, there is some projects coming in. Like, do you want to take it? If you're okay, then you take that project in and try to form a team with freelancers, and then just work on it. Eventually, if the project's getting bigger and then they trying to acquire talents, then you can supply the talents for them. So that's like just wanted to get offline business into tech as a prototype MVP. If it's going well, then yeah, it's more job opportunity. Still need to go back to like the business side. Definitely need to go through business side. You need to know someone that's good in business, so that they can reach out to the person that's able to pay, the business owner.
Yeah, we need to get in touch with more business owners. I don't even actually have any idea how to approach the idea of bringing foreign companies in. I don't even know I don't know how you would go about inspiring that, except if we had already a reputation in the area for having that, and then they'll just kind of find out and come on their own.
I don't know if we can talk about this, right? Since this is a live stream, but I'm hoping that with the plan that Facebook have with the 5 cities, right? It will help Sabah a little bit, not only Sabah lah, but the 5 other cities as well. So yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, I'm hoping with that one. One of the reason also I think why they want to do it is so that they can consolidate the tech players in Sabah, particularly into one area, one building, and then at the same time when we have that, Facebook can actually help to if not much, maybe a little bit, to promote Sabah and Penang, Sarawak. Where else? Sorry, yeah, the other two I don't remember. That we actually have something here, and then I think that way we can bring all the foreign companies, foreign businesses to come over here.
Yep, true. Yeah.
For the Dev Circle, we just need to keep building the community in the meantime, I think.
Yes, absolutely correct. Starting from zero, so you need to go through every events in Penang. Basically, is that if there is a business event, just go, because you met someone there, and then they will have some contact. They will introduce you some business in the future. So during the first few months, I go to lots of random events like the AWS Summit. It's for business owner. I just go there, and not really interested about like the AWS stuff.
But good, if it's a AWS Summit, the business owners there are already aware about technology, right? But I think what we want to do also is to actually introduce tech to the traditional business owners.
Yes, right? Correct. So that one is getting the businesses that are ready to pay, so they know there's tech there.
Going to events. I guess that is a good way. Going to events that are hosted or participated in by foreign businesses. That would be a way to get to meet them and let them know that there is tech talent in the area that can do work for them. So that's, I can see that.
And different verticals, like in legal side, financial side. I think agriculture is also good. We have in Penang, we have one agriculture-based startup before. It moved to KL, but there is a lot of discussion in cross vertical. Means if it's in business, in the legal, in agriculture, it's still able to go into tech. Just that they need to see that as an opportunity. We need to tell them there's a possibility, because they don't really explore that. They are not familiar with it. So if we explain to them, okay, this your industry actually can go into tech. There's a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for Sabah, I think we are known for our tourism and also agriculture. So those are the two areas that we can start looking into.
Correct. And Bar Council Sabah is actually very, I would say, very updated. A lot of stuff is already go online compared to KL or Penang. So they go very, I would say, upfront, very advanced. So there's a lot of opportunity there also in terms of legal, since they already started the
Bar
legal side.
Council?
Yeah, Bar Council Sabah.
Oh, I'm not familiar with that group, but okay.
So there's a lot of different verticals that you can explore in. After meeting different people in different events, you get to involve in some, industry that you won't expect you will get into, like legal.
That is true. Interesting.
Okay, I think we've done pretty good. We've been on
Yep.
for an hour, and
Yep.
we're gonna have our official first meetup on Tuesday.
Oh,
Just
cool.
a couple of days. So wish us luck.
Cool.
This is obviously just an online meetup. We're going to use the exact same setup we have now. I'm going to probably play around with, like, there's some settings here that I can play around with, banners and stuff.
So Penang, I'm still trying to look for local speakers because I think I run a poll in the group and saying that they prefer some developers in Penang to talk about some content rather than using other circles stuff.
Now, I'm curious about how does your group respond to highly technical talks versus sort of like overview or process talks? By highly technical, I mean actually showing how to code something versus like a higher level overview of how maybe a business accomplished something with technology. Do they like the highly technical ones?
It's split into different. I think there's different groups. Some are very technical. They are developers themselves. They like to see the code. Some is just starting to pick up. I would say half and half probably.
Okay.
Because if we want to get businesses into the live stream, they basically will find people to code for them. So success stories and some example to demonstrate practical solution for businesses. That one we haven't have much technical stuff like Redux, how to do React JS in projects and stuff like that. So probably we'll change a bit, try to cover as much as possible in terms of demography. Look for Penang, I'm looking for the direction of data science and also web development on React. So these two are mostly the focus for this year because I'm able to find speakers and developers that able to talk on those topics in Penang.
Yeah, and data science ties in with machine learning pretty much, right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of businesses are looking for data science topic because I think banking also asked them to learn Jupyter using Python. If to learn Python.
Okay, I think we probably ought to end the broadcast here. Gui, thanks for joining us. Faizra, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And
you.
I hope we make a lot of good progress going forward with our groups. All right. So have a good night, guys.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
All right.